Good morning, everybody. I guess good afternoon to my guests, because I got up early so that they didn't have to stay up late. Um, today on 22 Panels we have Joanne Starer and friends of the podcast Ted Brandt and Rose Stein. Uh, who combined to take a book that by no rights should I like at all and turn it into something that I read and laughed out loud last night and enjoyed, and now can't wait to scratch and sniff. Um, so that's my first question is I know Marie Javins was passing around swatches at Comics Pro. Have you guys gotten to sniff yet?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I did get a report from Chip Zdarsky who did smell it, and he said, "Joanne, it is disgusting." So,
I mean, it sounds like there should be some roses too. I mean, I don't want to give away too much.
well, so a thing that you'll probably notice in the book is that I wrote it with the idea that we were going to have multiple smells. So there's stuff like
Oh.
roses, pizza, cheese. Um, but there's something about the scratch and sniff printing process that if you have all those smells, especially in like a comic that's all smushed together, it's just not going to work. They're probably going to rub off on each other. So the decision was made on the production end to just do one smell. It's all farts, every fart in the book.
I mean, that's a little sad. Maybe for the deluxe hardcover edition that I feel like is coming, they'll go all out. I mean, this feels like I mean, if they can do hardcover editions of the Batman One Bad Day books with like Riddler and whatnot, I think they can give Harley Quinn Fartacular the hardcover treatment. It makes sense to me.
Maybe we'll do
Um,
a fart series and just combine
yeah,
them all.
there you go. Maybe there'll be like the special edition where it's like, okay, the printing doesn't allow us, so here are your swatches, and like with the page numbers that you should scratch them.
Right. That's like how they did the Odorama cards for
Right.
polyester. Yeah.
Oh, I love that somebody else knows that and remembers the name of the film because I never
Yeah.
remember the name of the film. Um, how did this book come about? I know that Marie was super excited about it at Comics Pro, almost to the point where I'm like, would Clark get upset if I reached out to Marie directly?
Well, it was technically Marie's idea. It started with her saying, I really want to do a book with a scratch and sniff fart cover. Uh, and nobody at DC was on her side. But it was
The
something she's
advantages of
been,
being the boss.
yes. And I said to her, I thought it was a joke, but I said to her, if you want to do a fart comic, I will write you such a fart comic. And it happened. It was kind of just something everybody was, would joke about, but we, me and Marie and our editor, Ariana Turturro, were all in the same room together, and we just started laughing about the idea so much that it became a reality. And then we got Ted and Ro to just make it absolutely beautiful.
Oh my God. I mean, one of the reasons I've always loved Ted and Row is they do humor even in places where it's not strictly humor. So to give them characters that aren't always strictly humorous, but a completely humorous story is just so up their alley that it's like, I mean, as I wrote to you guys, I saw the title and I went, okay, cash grab. I saw cover by Brandt and Stein and I went, okay, I have to click. I saw art by Brandt and Stein and went, ooh. I saw writing by Starer. I didn't even have to read the description. I ordered it. um, but when I decided that I had to reach out to all of you was I had a student like some of my students know that I have a comics podcast, and more of them know that I'm a comics geek. And I had a student that's not a comics person come up to me and go, "Did you know there's gonna be a scratch and sniff comic?" I'm like, "Yeah, friends of mine are drawing it." What? I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to everybody. So once you talked it out and laughed your asses off, how did you go from there?
Um, so I had been working on a few different fart ideas. It was uh my assumption that they actually wouldn't want Harley to fart, that I was trying to make stories where everybody else was farting, because I know sometimes there's very strict rules around, preserving the brand and the character. Like with Superman and the Superman family, like you can't let them drink or anything. Uh, so I was coming up with all these different ideas that just weren't working. And they were like, no, Harley has to fart. It's the Harley Fartacular.
Yeah.
And then Ariana said to me, extra points if you could fit in a reference to the James Joyce Farty love letters.
Okay, so
And
those are real.
oh
Now,
yeah,
well,
Yeah.
based on Ariana's editor's notes, I was like, okay, is this fake and she's apologizing to the family because we're using it, or is it real and she's
No.
apologizing to the family because we're
Oh, yeah, because we're pointing out he was a horny, weird freak.
yes,
Thank you, Ted.
yes, exactly. Uh, but I just took that concept and ran with it because I was like, that would be so funny to put this like very serious writer in this world and point out all the issues that like, there's a part in there where Harley actually says to James Joyce, if I talked like this, they would put me in prison. But he got to do this stuff and still be one of the most famous writers in the world. So, uh, and then we found the perfect artists.
Oh my God.
There was it was very much like who's gonna who's gonna be good at comedy and also be willing to draw this.
Yeah, that's a short list there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember
So
the email was basically, "Hey, so we've got this wild idea. Would you be into drawing a fart comic?" And we were basically like, "You've come to the right place. We can do this."
I mean, I think there should be more farts in comics. It's a natural thing. I don't know. It's kind of like going to the bathroom. Why do we never see superheroes go to the bathroom? I'm curious as to how Batman arranges it with that crazy getup.
I think he probably wears a catheter, right? So he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
even
that's
have to do
possible.
it.
Catheter in a diaper.
Yeah. And that's what I would do if I was a superhero.
Really feeling bad for Alfred now.
Yeah.
And I feel like we now have your exercise drawing for later today. You're gonna Alfred cleaning up. If you do that, I want to see it, even if it never sees the light of day otherwise.
Alfred doing laundry.
Oh,
Alfred's got a power hose for laundry.
So I have to ask the question because it's the I don't want to give away too much, but like because we've talked the love letters, I'll say that there's a relationship story and an argument over whether it's appropriate or not to do natural actions in front of one's partner. So we got to go around the room, appropriate or inappropriate. You don't have to introduce yourself. You can have the anonymity of most of our people may or may not know which voices are whose.
well, my name's Ted, and it's appropriate.
I love it, Ted.
I don't think it's possible to not and actually have a healthy relationship because
I agree.
I fart constantly, and not because I'm trying to. It just is how my body works, and I'm not going to hold it in. I've been in a relationship for 8 years, and am I supposed to hold that in?
Or just like
See,
dive,
this is
dive
this is
behind the
what I
curtain
love
and
to
go,
hear.
I have
That
heard
means that
stories
everybody's in healthy relationships. I mean,
I've heard
I will
people
cop to the fact.
ostracizing themselves because of not wanting to fart in front of their partner. He's like, no, that's not happening.
I after I read this comic last night, my wife and I wound up sending fart gifs back and forth to each other for like half an hour.
Yeah, I figured it's a very relatable thing. Like the first time you let one toot in front of your partner, you don't know how that's gonna go, right? When you're in a relationship and you're like, oh no, it finally happened.
They
You're very
realize I'm a
scared
human
about
being.
This is what I'm saying. Everybody should just get it out of the way on the first date.
yeah.
I think we were farting in front of each other before we were a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
my partner Kari was a friend before we got together, and I remember one time he met my dad at a Comic-Con, and my dad was just complaining about how I farted all night in the hotel room, and I was like, "Don't say this in front of people." But Kari decided he loved me anyway.
I love it. I love it. Um, yeah, no, that I was it was the coolest thing because I was expecting humor. I like fart humor. Um, I don't understand people who don't. I think they're trying too hard to be adult in ways that shouldn't be adult.
I mean,
You know.
it's fundamental insecurity that thing of,
Yeah.
you know, in order to be like taking life seriously and taking seriously this person, I must only be serious. Like
Right.
there is such a difference between being taken seriously and being serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, but the fact that you centered it on like a relationship story caught me off guard, but was just perfect. Did that come strictly out of the Joyce letters, or were you playing with that before? Um,
Yeah, I think once that came into the picture, I was like, it makes perfect sense to me that Harley would try and steal these poison ivy. Like these insane letters are going to be like how she shows her love. And then I sort of built from there.
and Ted and Roe, when you got the story, like, what were your thoughts? How quickly did the wheels start spinning for the crazy stuff that you were going to get to do? Um, yeah,
we were figuring stuff out as we were reading it.
Yeah,
I figured.
yeah.
The one thing is, I did actually go because I hadn't actually heard about the James Joyce love letter thing. So I actually went up and looked them up, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
They're so much worse than the book portrays them as.
Yes.
I
Damn.
have not yet because I was reading later in the evening last night, and very deliberately held myself away from falling down that autistic rabbit hole. Um, but I'm already starting to think about what time do I have today.
I mean, it's an education.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
they're actually highly pornographic. Uh, so finding the bits that we could use and still keep it, safe for readers was a little difficult.
Highly redacted James Joyce.
What was your favorite part to draw? I mean, you clearly had fun. I mean, I can tell when artists are having fun, and you guys so clearly had fun with this.
Oh
Like,
yeah, we very much did. I think for me, it was the 2 pages of I won't like say what's happening, but Plastic Man specifically in the restaurant.
yes,
That was a lot of fun.
that was actually a totally brilliant um conceit. I can't think of a, and I love Plastic Man. Um, but I think he'd be on board with that. I do.
Oh
Oh
I
yeah.
yeah,
think
like
he'd be on board with that.
he's a perfect fit for the book because, like Harley, he is a clown,
Yeah.
and I mean that with the highest respect for both the character and clowning as an art. The two of them are.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. Like sometimes you like I don't even know where to go next. And
well,
and
it's an
and
absurd thing to be talking about. Where I mean,
right.
how do we even have a conversation about this book?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a surprise when we were going through the script.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, even knowing what we knew going in, there was still only so much we could actually anticipate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was also a lot of stuff that had to be discussed and altered uh at the last minute, in the script because there are things that you want to show in a book like this you can't,
Yeah.
or the ways that you want to portray certain things. Um, so there was definitely like a lot of discussion of like, there's a scene where Harley grabs a wine cork and thinks about using that to stop her gassiness. And it was like, look, you have to be very careful because Carly can't put a cork in her butt on the page, all right? So so we had to find workarounds for certain things like that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's often where really great comedy comes in, right? When you can't take the obvious route, and so you have to do something weirder and therefore dumber, which
Yeah,
is
no, I recently talked with Matt and he sets up constraints for his comics. Even though he works in a world where he doesn't necessarily have to, but that's how he makes himself create is like he'll set the constraint first. Sometimes before he's even really written the story, it's like, okay, I can't do this or I have to do that. Um, so yeah,
Amazing.
uh, that makes sense to me that like trying to find the humor when it's like you can't do the obvious. And I think that makes it more funny. Particularly because you had people who were serious about finding the humor. I mean, it becomes a challenge and a puzzle to unravel. But yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm very lucky to work with people who are so good at visual humor uh, that even when there were places I couldn't say things, they just bring it out on the page.
yeah.
So still look at a
Um,
lot of those pages
humor
and
is to
laugh
be
out loud.
humor is to be taken seriously. Like I get like it's like there's such a difference between being serious and being taken seriously, and it is. I mean, certainly for me, like it's distressing how unseriously most people approach
Mm.
comedy.
well, I mean, comedy's harder. Comedy's
Yes.
all about timing. Comedy's all about, I mean, every time I hear somebody go, "Oh, I'm amazed that they did well in a dramatic movie," I'm like, of course Adam Sandler can do dramatic acting. If he can do halfway decent comedy, which is all he does half the time, dramatic acting is nothing.
Yeah,
Comedy is way harder.
Yeah. And I sort of feel like there's a fear in the comic book industry of doing like pure comedy books because if you don't do it well, it's just terrible. Um,
I
so
think we also still suffer from that insecurity of wanting to not be seen as a kid's medium and therefore being genuinely afraid of silly. I
yeah.
think it's a big because I mean it's why you know what and don't get me wrong, this is not a complaint about Steve Lieber because I absolutely love his work, but his comedy is not silly. It's it's clever and careful and
Yes.
brilliant. But the fact that we hold him up as like the biggest comedian, again, that's not nothing to do with like Steve's ability because he is wonderful.
He's very
But there
funny.
should be there should be a bigger range than just Steve, is all I'm saying.
Right.
Like
Yes.
Well,
because
I mean,
he does that.
Although
But there should be
I
some.
would desperately love to do a book with Steve Lieber.
Oh yeah. I mean,
though this is also where I'm gonna, and like I'll cop to it. My difficulty is that like I have one book to really talk to Ted and Roe about, and so much to talk to Joanne about. So Ted and Roe, if you can now become co-hosts with me, so that I don't have to stop hearing your voices because I love hearing your voices. Because that's actually a really good segue, Joanne. You have also done work for the publisher that I think is most serious about keeping comedy in comics, which is Ahoy. Your book, The
Oh,
Gimmick, there,
yes.
um, and Ahoy. Almost everything they do it has some level of humor to it. So I'll come back to Fire and Ice in a second, but since we went to Ahoy, talk to me about the Ahoy experience. Talk to me about the gimmick because that was like I meant to reread it and I haven't read it since it came out, but it was. I'm not a wrestling guy, and there keep being amazing wrestling comics, and I'm like,
Right.
am I missing something in wrestling?
No, it was, I worked in the wrestling business a long time ago. And so I had a very firsthand account of what the inside of the business was like and what wrestlers were like when they're not on stage. And it had always made me think like the way that wrestling comics were done in the past, they would try and they would give you in-ring action on the page, which that's not really a value add, right? Like if I could watch wrestling on TV versus in a comic, I'm going to watch it on TV. But what makes
That's where I'm really
interesting,
weird. I'll read it in the comic.
but what makes it interesting is the personalities and the drama backstage and sort of the juxtaposition of that. A lot of these guys who play heroes in the ring are actually really bad people. So it just seemed like a natural thing for me to write about this and show it the way that I see it. That there are a lot of guys in this business that the fans love and adore, but they're horrible people. So, and there's a lot of women in the business who never really get to the same level as the men and just do a lot of support work, or their careers have to end early because they get pregnant. So I just wanted to explore those different sides of the business. And then it was happening right around the time that Ahoy started. And I saw they were doing these humor books. They were taking chances, doing things that other publishers weren't. And they were just they were the perfect fit for something like that. Because I had sent that book, The Gimmick, to other publishers, and they were like, we like this, but we don't know how to market it. So
God, there's a line.
Oh yeah.
It's so easily heard and so annoying every time.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I am shocked that you guys haven't worked for Ahoy yet, Ted and Roe, because
No.
they
We
feel
have.
like have you?
Yeah,
What did
there was the 10-page short with Liana and Jaslyn
Oh yeah.
in the cryptid files.
Okay, that's right.
We weren't sure what's in there. But yeah,
That's
nothing,
right.
nothing else so far. But yeah, I mean they're a great company to work for.
They just feel like the company that like you should be like the staff artists for. We just did a one-pager, guys.
I mean, hell, they only need to ask. But yeah, well,
How complicated is the page?
yeah, I mean,
You can have it in 3 hours.
we're very, very lucky because we're working on our first fully us graphic novel with Titan at the moment, and that was another thing.
Is it something you're allowed to talk about yet?
Yeah, oh yes,
I'm sorry, Joanne, to go away from you before we even get to Fire and Ice. We'll come back in a second.
No, I want to hear all about this.
The same line of we don't know how to market that got given to us a lot by a lot of people. We shipped it out to try and have it picked up.
Yeah, our agent was getting quite frustrated because it's not an easily defined book, and as a result, everyone just went, I can't sell it. It's not your job to sell it. You're the editor. You give it to marketing. They sell it.
And like that's the most annoying thing for me to hear as somebody who's been a lifelong connoisseur of comics and media in general, because like everything we think of is great. I guarantee there were people going, I don't know how to sell this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At some point, you have to stop doing the same thing over and over again and take a chance.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why we're really, really grateful that Titan actually were very responsive to this book.
Are you allowed to tell us a title? Anything about it yet?
Yeah,
let's hear.
It got announced that it had been bought
a couple of weeks ago.
Was it a couple of weeks ago? I lost all track of time.
Yeah, I think it was a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Worst Man, and our protagonist is a gentleman called Radcliffe Raleigh. He is a professional,
Relationship ruiner.
yeah. So like basically, so yeah, he is the worst man, like the end of the best man, like So two people are in a relationship, and you think that they're not right for each other, but they haven't seen it. You hire him, and he'll kind of
Infiltrate their lives and
and
find a way to convince them to break up.
I love this idea.
I wow.
But no, yeah, that's all. Like, just
That's the preamble.
that's not the plot of the book.
Of course not.
His one rule is that he'll only do it if you can convince him that they really aren't right for each other. Like that you know them, and that they that you're doing them a favor. Like he tries to be principled. The one time he broke it was for
A billionaire.
an amoral billionaire who threw too much money at him to break up her eldest daughter's relationship, which failed because they were very much in love. And so
The plot is she's come back to try and get him to sabotage her youngest daughter's wedding, which is in 32 hours.
because youngest daughter is eloping, and so it rather than like a long time scale, he's to kind of get into their lives, he's got 32 hours to utterly destroy their relationship. If he succeeds, he'll get double his original fee. If he fails, no one will find his body.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
It's also a romantic
Somebody
comedy.
Yeah,
Well, and
needs to
that's the
option it.
I'm seeing from your press release. Worst Man is a love letter to story types we love: heist, farce, and rom-coms. That just right there. I please send me advanced readers. I will plug the fuck out of this book.
Happily, I mean, like it's a long way off. We're still drawing it, but like it will be coming out next year, and in the spring we'll definitely be getting together, like press outlets to get copies.
Yes. Well, and I'll have another excuse to have you guys back because like I don't need too many excuses. I would bug you every month, but I know that you work really hard.
They work harder than anyone I know in comics. I can't believe how fast they work. It's wild to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't we draw the Fartacular in a month?
Yeah.
It was 40 pages and you drew it in a month.
Yeah.
And I mean, I live with a comic artist, so I know how hard
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah. No, I think I have of the people I know, maybe two people that I'll put in the same like workaholic crazy space as the two of them. But yeah, it's a really short list. Really, really short list. Let's get back.
Secrets have terrible boundaries.
Yeah.
And or you enjoy yourselves and you work together so it can be relationship time. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with healthy reasons.
Good luck.
I mean, this is, and one of the things that we share is our neurodivergence. This is where like what's healthy for us is not always what the world thinks is healthy.
Yeah, true.
Like I think a lot of neurodivergent people would find the amount of coffee I have to drink is not healthy.
Well, I mean, that's possible, but I think most of us drink that much coffee just because we feel like it.
Yeah, I got the words wrong.
So, very nice. How about them?
Yeah, Fire and Ice. I loved the first series. It was like I picked it up because of your name, Joanne. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, I was loving Sirens of the City. I loved Gimmick, and I'm like, oh, Joanne's writing Fire and Ice. I like everything she writes. I'll give it a shot. And not only was I not disappointed, it was so much funnier and more fun than I was expected going into it. I mean, to be honest, my connection to Fire and Ice before that was Tom King's Human Target, and like
definitely
they're much less funny there.
Very different.
Um, so like, how'd you decide to send him to Smallville?
Um, it was actually I originally pitched it as a superhero Schitt's Creek. Um,
Okay.
so the idea was always to send them to a small town where they would have to, deal with the locals and start their lives over. And I think it came from the editorial side from Andrea Shea that maybe we put them in Smallville so we can tie it into the bigger DC universe and have a familiar place, but it still keeps them kind of off the grid. It's a place that Fire is not going to enjoy being. Uh, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Andrea's suggestion. Um, but there was, again, like with the Fartacular, there was a lot of things we then had to work around because we were under the assumption, the belief at the time that there was a protective dome over Smallville, that had been established. So I wrote one whole version, like a detailed outline, where we were dealing with this dome, uh, where all the villains would try and get at them, but they couldn't because of the dome. So they just set up a camp outside of Smallville, and it was going to be this weird villain camp. But then we found out there wasn't a dome, and we didn't have to do that. So we brought the villains into Smallville. So
Um, it's got a rogues gallery that is both fun and that I didn't recognize at all. Um,
well, I made
eh,
most of them up.
that
So
would that was literally my question. Did you
yeah.
get to create a bunch of cool villains, or did DC give you like a binder of not even D list, like E, F, G list villains that hadn't been used forever to flip through and go, "Ooh, that one looks cool."
No, I chose a few existing villains that I knew nobody would really be using or care about. I figured nobody's going to be using Gentleman Ghost as a main character. Maxie Zeus is kind of a ridiculous thing. Um, so I brought in a few that interested me, um, and then I made up a lot of them. Uh, which hopefully, I'm hoping that Smarty Pants, who has two brains where his butt should be, becomes an enduring character in the DC universe. But
I can see it being used in the next Fartacular.
yeah. But yeah, I was surprised with
Oh,
how much they let me do.
the look Ro just had was fantastic.
I was just thinking about how the farts would work if you had two brains acting as butt cheeks, and they're just
They would be extra wet.
confused.
There are moments where I wish we were a video podcast. That was one of them. Um, Talk to me about writing Martha Kent, because I think you're writing the coolest Martha ever. For that
Well,
matter,
thank you.
she throws down some gangster's paradise in the issue you just sent me.
I,
You
I
know,
didn't think that was
spoiler
going to
alert.
make it. Yeah.
I was
Um,
shocked that it made it too.
yeah. Uh, it was very important to me to let Martha be her own person, be a real person. Um, we always see a lot of talk about Jonathan Kent and, what a great father he was and blah, blah, blah. But look, this is the woman who raised Superman and made Superman what he is. Like, she's got to be a very moral, principled, caring person, but also now she's a bit of an empty nester, right? Like, she lived her whole life for this one purpose, to be there for Superman and her family. And now she's free to explore herself. Um, and so that was, something I really wanted to put forth, that she has her own interests and her own personality, and she can do all that while still being a good role model and friend to the people in her life.
See, sometimes writers do so well at talking that it's hard to ask the follow-up question because it's like you answered them all.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. This is also like early morning. You guys are all outside the United States, so you get to look at
Yeah.
our trash fire and find it humorous and or go, at least it's not here. I mean, Joanne, you probably still have friends and family here.
Yes, I fled the United States, but still all my friends and everyone is back there. Uh, it is difficult.
How
I
many
try and
messages a week do you get asking if you have a spare bedroom?
I do. I do not have a spare bedroom, but I do field a lot of messages from people who are trying to figure out how to leave the country, and what kind of paperwork they need for visas. And I'm I'm just making myself this lifeline for people trying to escape.
I mean, it came up on the main episode yesterday where like 2 years ago, if like Canada had attacked the United States, it would have been like, oh, we're at war. We gotta. Now it'd be like, they're coming to save us.
Yeah, I mean, having the advantage of being outside now, I can choose to turn off the worst of it, the news, because it's the only way I'll be able to continue doing work that might be helpful, you
Right.
know.
No, I get
So,
it. I mean, I was talking about the autistic burnout. My biggest problem is like my autism brain needs to understand any part of the world that might affect me. Even if I can't do anything about it, I need to like understand the shape of it and what's going on. So like I get way worse if I check out than if
mm,
I am checked in. So I have to become very good at how I curate my sources.
right.
But where it gets hard is like the worse things get, the less people want to talk to me about it. And I get that. I don't want to like ruin their day, but it's like, but I still need to process, guys.
Right.
And that'll be it for that. I didn't mean to like
No,
shove any of this down here.
it's hard not to address it.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's the
I mean,
giant orange elephant in the room.
Mhm.
yeah, it's an I'd like to call it an interesting time, but it's not that interesting. It's just terrifying.
Yes, it's terrifying.
It's just terrifying. We live in a terrifying time. That's my current thing. Um, I'm trying to be good and watch the clock. We got 20 minutes. Um, at least before we lose Joanne. I don't know what Ted and Roe have going on. But I also have a 10 o'clock podcast because that's my coping mechanism. I schedule lots of book clubs and lots of interviews. I have 3 podcasts to record today.
So who's after us?
After you guys is the Kirby Fourth World Book Club that I do with a couple
Mm.
of Chicago actors. And then this afternoon I have John Lees and Alex Cormack to talk about Sync. So we go from funny farts to funny horror in the span of
I'll tell
a
you, people
few.
keep asking me to write horror, and I'm like, I don't know why you think that this is something that I do, but
Right.
I guess I'm gonna do it.
People keep asking us that as well, like when we're going to
Crazy,
do horror
right?
stuff. It's
I
like,
remember being asked specifically, are we going to do some body horror? I was like, why would we do that?
Yeah. I think some of it has to do with the fact that we're reaching a point in society where like I mean, I said we were going to go away from this, and I'm going to try, but like more and more horror is comedy because like it's either actually unrealistic as opposed to the horrors that we deal with all the time, or it's been so outpaced by reality that it's like quaint.
Right.
yeah, I also think questions like that, both for you and us, Joanne, it does speak to a certain misconception that a lot of people have that horror is innately superior. It's like,
Right.
That
you're
too.
very good at these funny things, so surely you must graduate to a proper genre. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. No, no.
Well,
See,
I'm gonna make
those of
my
us in
horror
the
funny.
know appreciate you doing what you do. And
Yeah, if
and
we
and
were
Ted,
horror, it would be a horror comedy.
Yeah.
and
and actually,
we've got one planned
Yeah.
at some
yeah,
point.
and actually, Ted, let me we're gonna throw this on the neurodivergent plane for a second, because Ted, do you feel like sometimes it is the like neurodivergent and the less capable of sugarcoating things rather than just like, I mean, everybody talks about people keeping it real as an excuse to be really insulting, which is
Ugh,
like
makes me
dumb.
so angry.
It does. It does. But like my version of keeping it real is like I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and when I ask a question, it's a question. It's because I want to understand better. It's not saying you're dumb.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
saying you seem to have information that I don't have.
Yeah, some like when you ask a genuinely asking a question because you want to know information, and people are taking that. What are you criticizing about what I'm doing? It's like, no, I just want to understand what's happening here.
It's like show your work. That's actually become like there's and Kelly goes back and forth on how much she likes it when couples counseling comes up on the air, but she's gotten used to me now. It's become one of the code words, the passphrases between my wife and I, because she grew up in a really passive aggressive family where like the question meant you're wrong. Why on earth did you do that? So it she has like the past trauma being touched every time I ask a question, but I don't get passive aggressive. Like either be aggressive or don't. It seems way too hard to be passive aggressive. I mean, which is why I like made the decision to not even try to figure out if people are being passive aggressive. I respond to them the way they you like. So if they asked a question that was supposed to be passive aggressive, I'm actually just going to answer it like it's a question, which often infuriates them. But like, dude, if you're mad at me, tell me you're mad at me. Don't ask me a dumb question. But
Yeah.
but going back to our catchphrase has been, do you think I've done something wrong, sweetie? Or are you asking me to show my work? It's like, show your work. So yeah, that's where I was going. Do you think that part of the seriousness that is definitely part of the neurotypical world um, has to do with the fact that like there's this assumption that certain things are good and certain things are lower, and they don't want to talk about any of that. They don't want to talk about anything that might matter if it is deemed inappropriate.
I think there's definitely a big fear about seeming childish. I
Yeah.
think like that is a big thing because let's face it, when you're a kid, we all look at adults and go, "Wow, they've really got their shit together. They know what they're doing." And then we get to that age and we go, "The fuck am I doing? I don't know." And so
Right.
like I think there is that inherently will breed this like, need to differentiate yourself because I mean, like emotionally, although I'm sure I'm not the same as when I was a child, I don't feel any different because it's been a gradual process. So
Right.
I don't have any way of feeling different than I did then. So I can see like, for a lot of people, there could be that need to go, well, I've got to differentiate myself from that self somehow. Well, things I liked when I was young are bad now. They're for kid, like I don't know.
Which in itself is actually a very childish
Oh yeah,
behavior.
of course.
Because you
Yes.
have a difference between childlike and childish, and the
Yeah.
childish stuff is like being a petulant brat about things.
Yeah.
So if you inherently saying, well, this is a childish thing, it's like you are cutting off that thing about you that was like, oh, this is just really fun.
Yeah, I mean, like Christ, when we did the uh, short story for DC when Connor Hawke comes out as asexual, we had multiple people saying we were infantilizing an adult black character by saying he likes to eat ice cream on the sofa.
What?
Yeah.
Someone saying that's so infantilizing. It's like, dang, do you not like ice cream with
I
people you
know. What
like?
is that?
What is wrong with that?
You
People
don't
have
like ice cream or
reactions.
comfy places to sit?
Yeah. But like they associated that level of just simple joy with childhood, and so therefore
This
they couldn't let themselves have it anymore.
Or there's
this
also the possibility of them associating it with in romantic tropes, that's what the girl wants to do, which then in itself is infantilizing because you're
Because
putting a girl trope on
women are
a
all
guy.
children.
Yeah,
And everybody likes ice cream. How is this even an issue?
I know.
But
I
the
think
issues that people find with your work are things you could never ever predict.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, we did not expect this to happen with the Fartacular, that the whole internet blew up yelling at us. Because we let Harley Quinn fart. So many people were in on this book, and nobody ever thought that something like that could happen, that it would be
Wait a
taken
minute. The
badly.
internet got upset that Harley Quinn farted.
Oh, I
Oh
got
yeah, so
death
much.
letters. I got people were signing me up for emails, junk mail. One guy told me, and trigger warning for anybody listening to this, but this guy said to me, "This Harley book is going to make me kill myself, and it'll be your fault." And like that's the level of anger people had that
Okay.
we let Harley fart.
There are two things I have to say, like right now. First, if there is a single character in the DC universe more likely to fart than Harley Quinn, I would like to know who they are. And second, this is evidence that we now need to have every DC hero fart at least once an issue until it has been normalized and people get the fuck over it.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Superman needs to start farting. Batman needs to start farting. Robin should fart up a storm. Tom, if you're
We'll get us
listening,
upset,
Black Canary
so-
should fart in the middle of the last issue of Best of the Best. She should be in the ring doing the MMA and let one loose.
I mean, to be fair, whichever of them gets knocked out, that really just should happen anyway.
I mean, that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Ugh.
I do think a lot of the reaction is because Harley's somebody that people sexualize.
Oh yeah.
It's a woman, it's a pretty woman, and pretty women are not allowed to fart. Like
Well,
that's just it.
I think that's definitely what led to a lot of the comments on it being like a fetish comic because Harley is very much a fetish object for them, so they can't imagine anything being done with her as a character that isn't someone's fetish.
Yeah,
So
people
what
just
we're
labeled
saying-
it a fart fetish book, which makes zero sense because why would DC think that there is a market in
Yeah.
fart fetish
Well,
things?
I mean, Joyce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
But it was just
while he was a very acclaimed author, he was never like the biggest seller.
Yeah, it
Joanne,
was
what's
very
your
much.
cat's name?
Oh, you saw the cat. That's Babu.
Hi, Babu.
Babu
For a
is
second,
very
it did
upset I'm
look
not
like you
paying
had a
attention.
tail.
Yeah, she's running all over the house now because no one's paying attention to her.
Yeah,
So.
Eddie generally makes an appearance, but I close the door to muffle the sound because my wife's still sleeping.
Yeah, we've gone out of our way to make Babu famous. There's Kari Randolph, my boyfriend, and I did a exhibit for the Smithsonian where it's like was a whole room of comic book murals that were educational. And we put her on like every wall.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
the cat is in everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she's
I
in
want to
my
see that
author
now.
photo. So
Oh, hi, Kari.
Kari wave. Okay.
And thank you both for sponsoring a shelf at Challengers. That was the other thing that reminded me
Oh yeah,
to
we love those guys. They've
yeah,
been,
I do
you know,
too.
we're not in Chicago, but they've
Right.
been so good to us, you know. So
Yeah.
I figured put a
Yeah, no,
little
that
bit of me in Chicago.
that both reminded me to email you and reminded me to finally buy the 22 panel shelf. So,
Yeah, that's actually like
um,
a great idea that they have.
right.
More comic stores could probably take that on, is just having people sponsor a show. You get a little plaque on there, and
And I mean,
That's
some
really
of it
cool.
was desperation. Rent keeps going up.
yeah,
They've got a pretty good location. They don't want to have to move.
yeah,
Comics are a volatile industry,
Oh
very
yeah.
much.
Um, all right, before we lose Joanne and possibly all of you, and I don't want to assume Ted and Ro are going to hang out longer, but whatever. I have to ask my required question. Ted and Ro have
Hmm.
had to answer this a few times. Tell me something you love, preferably a comic, but like if you must, you can use books, music, movies, some piece of art, storytelling, etc., that you love that not enough other people have experienced, read, listened to, watched, whatever, and you need them to because you need more people to talk about it with.
Oh, well, I would say the obvious choice for me would be uh, the Giffen de Mateus run uh, on with Kevin McGuire on the Justice League, which is where a lot of the stuff from Fire and Ice comes from. Um, that was a time when they let even the biggest players in DC be funny and have these interesting adventures that were more character based. You know, I think a lot of people are very familiar with the One Punch panel where Batman punches Guy Gardner, but the whole book is like that. Like the whole series is, it has adventure and, you know, all the things you expect from the Justice League, but it has humor and heart. Um, and I would really love there to be more of a revival of that type of story, of those characters that were, you know, all the side characters that were involved in those books. It's just really my favorite run of comics ever. And you can get it in the JLI omnibus, I believe. It's like a giant book.
So the Justice League International, that's right.
Yes.
Which I'll cop to. I haven't read yet, but it's been on my list.
Oh, you
Um,
should. It's great.
we were this close to being what would have been Keith Giffen's last appearance
Oh,
because we wound up not doing one last year because we just my friend that I do it for was busy with some stuff and he was really trying to get one person that we couldn't get. Um, but we've done I think three Legion of Superhero roundtables now,
hmm.
where we bring together a mix of people who love the Legion and people who've worked on the Legion. And he had managed to reach out to Keith's son-in-law, actually, had like put it all together. And it was going to be Keith and uh, Paul Levitz has been on a few times and he was there and Tom Beerbaum and Keith went into the hospital with COVID the day before the recording.
Yeah, it was really a loss for the industry. And on a
Yeah.
personal level, I was sad that I could never get his blessing on the Fire and Ice stuff, because that would have made my life.
Yeah, he
Um,
sounds like he was just a amazing individual.
yeah, I really I read a lot of his work growing up, and I think that really influences now the way I write.
Okay.
Well, God. I mean, the thing I always loved about Giffen as well was just how versatile he was, and
Yeah.
and one of the things that I think for all the credit he gets for everything, I think one of the smallest things in terms of the credits he gets versus what he's owed is how well 52 worked
Hmm.
because constantly changing artists by necessity to keep up that weekly schedule and him doing 22 pages of layouts every, well, not even layouts, full on breakdowns every week,
Yeah.
so that they could keep the visual style and the storytelling distinct and and consistent. Like no matter what he did it incredibly well.
Yeah, he's
Now I have to go read
very
more
much.
stuff.
uh,
Ted and Rose, same question.
I think today I'm going to pick New Frontier by Darwin Cook.
Ah, I love New Frontier, even if it's my second favorite Darwin Cook,
I mean,
Another
because
terrible loss.
yeah,
I love his Parker stuff just too much.
yeah, the his Parker is incredible, but like especially since we're talking about DC, like, New Frontier is like a full life's loving of DC Comics crammed into one incredible book,
Yeah.
where his love for all those characters just doesn't, bleed, it gushes all over the page.
I also liked his Spirit run a lot,
Hmm.
and his Batman Spirit one shot was amazing.
I mean, yeah, like Cook was a top
Well,
notch.
yeah. Yeah. And I recently had somebody bring up like his Catwoman run gets lost in the weeds because it was like right with Brubaker. So like and Darwin does all sorts of stuff and Brubaker's known for a different set of stuff. So it's like, yeah. Darwin,
Yeah.
are you gonna make us cry too, Ro?
No, because I don't have a book to recommend or anything like that. I'm going to recommend some of the music that has been keeping me sane the last few weeks.
Okay.
It's a band from North Wales, or it might be South Wales, I can't remember specifically which. They're called Punk Rock Factory, and they do covers of like Disney songs and all that kind of
God.
thing in a
Oh,
punk rock style. And if you like Bowling for Soup, they're kind of in the same genre as that. And in fact, got the lead singer from Bowling for Soup to do a collaboration with them for a version of Let It Go.
Oh wow.
I have to
So,
check this out.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean one of my favorite tracks is Los Lobos covered Be Like You from the Jungle Book. So I'm all for the Disney cover song, particularly if they don't feel like they have to like do the Disney version, not to like bash Disney, but like taking those songs and putting them in their own genres are always pretty cool. So like,
We've also done a whole bunch of stuff like TV themes as well. So
oh wow.
the Thundercats and Power Rangers. I think they did a version of the Bluey theme song. It's very short, but they've done their version of it.
You know, I that could be important because I have a wife, a son, and two grandkids who are obsessive about Bluey, and I would love to be into Bluey. Um, the theme song drives me up the wall. And because they're short episodes, you hear the theme song like every 10 or 12 minutes. And it throws me, and I don't manage to pay attention to the very good episode in between because I'm running away from the theme song. So if there's a good version of the theme song that I can like, because one of my like superpowers is I can listen to music in my head. So like if I find a version that I like better, I'll just like shut off my ears and listen to the punk rock version in my head.
So because I've not actually heard the actual Bluey theme song, so I only know the punk rock version. So they'll do
Okay.
Mom, really heavy guitar.
See, I will actually like Bluey is something that I will honestly recommend. It deals with I can't remember if they've had a fart episode, but they definitely have had episodes that deal with like the things that they're like, oh, how can you talk to kids about that? Well, at the same time, parents are going, because you need to talk to kids about that. You know, so there are these great like 10-minute life lessons with humor. So of course it's Australian because, you know, that wouldn't come from certainly wouldn't come from the United States.
No.
Europe maybe, but Europe seems to to be pretty serious too a lot of the time. I think you got to be around the world and around no other English speakers to decide to just let go. Anything else anybody wants to plug? Any parting comments?
Um,
Darkwing
well,
Duck.
the Fartacular's out March 26th, so get
Yep,
that.
day after my birthday. So thank you for the wonderful birthday present.
And the new Fire and Ice series, Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over, with artwork by Stephen Byrne, who's incredible. That is out on April 9th.
And the final order cutoff is on the 17th. So
Yes.
people listening right now, assuming Tyler gets it up in the next day or two, have until next Monday to order their first issue of Fire and Ice.
Yes.
And yeah,
Ted, bro.
our first issue of Darkwing Duck is out.
Yes, that's out, and I think the second issue is coming out soon.
Wait a minute, you're on Darkwing now?
Yeah.
With
I
Daniel
have to go read
Kimball-Smith.
Darkwing.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to find out when the other one is out.
Yeah, it's a busy year. We got things
Yeah.
going on.
Well,
That's
I
gonna be
like
a
it
good
when
one.
it's busy for you guys because like that means roof over your head, food. I love that I see
food.
headphones behind both of you. I've become obsessed with different sets of headphones.
Oh
I
yeah.
have different headphones for like every mood now.
I adore mine. Sony WHMX 1000. Oh,
Okay.
Mine's the previous
Yeah.
Sony.
yeah. So it's best noise cancelling I've ever found. So comfortable and like a 40-hour battery life. Heaven.
Oh.
Those are good things.
The noise cancelling is better than my headphones because I'm the only one who hears the door.
Oh,
I hear nothing when I'm in there. It's great.
It's very difficult to get attention. Frantic waving.
get a laser pointer and just like run it across the.
Bad idea.
Do the cat thing. See what happens.
Try and get it right in your eyes. You will pay attention.
Is Ted in fact a cat?
I think if any of us is a cat, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, this was so much fun. You'll have to do a book together again because you play well off of each other, and it would be fun to have the three of you together again.
I would be thrilled.
Either that, or I'll just since I now know a little bit about your sense of humor, I'll send out the random email that says, "Let's read this together and talk about it." But then, like Ted and Ro will have to have 20 minutes of spare time in their life, which doesn't seem to happen very
can
often.
find that. We can find that.
We have to find that. Otherwise, bad.
Yeah.
This is why I love Ted and Ro. I love. I can't. And I hope you know that that's totally genuine, guys. I adore talking to you. I adore you as a couple. I wish you lived next door. Though right now, really, I wish I lived next door. So thank you all so much for coming. I'm looking forward to the rest of the Fire and Ice series. I am looking forward to smelling the Fartacular.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
I mean, again, I almost reached out to Marie Javins when I read that during the announcement of the upcoming Marvel DC crossover, she was running around with swatches of the Scratch-A-Sniff, trying to convince people that the crossover should also be Scratch-A-Sniff.
They let us do a Harley Deadpool Scratch and Sniff crossover. I think it would sell 1 million copies.
Yeah, I think the pre-orders on that would be ridiculous. And I think you need to pitch it right now, Joanne, because I'm like 80% of the time not even a Deadpool fan in comics because I think so few people manage to quite catch the right humor,
Right.
violence, balance with him. That I was quite pleased when the movies did actually catch. It's one of the few places where I might like the comic movies more than most of the source material. Though this
Yeah.
is also where I give a huge shout out to Kyle Baker and David Lapham's Deadpool Max. Oh my God. So yes, you should write an email right now, Joanne. Just like the one paragraph. I'm looking at Ted and Roe. I think they carve out time in their schedule for that. And then I can claim to have an honest to God scoop if it happens.
Right.
It was created on the air. All right, for 22 panels, this has been Joanne Starer, Ted Brandt, and Rose Stein. We will see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.